Pennant, and I'm the youth leader here at Sacramento First Church of the Nazarene. Psalms 138:7 tells us, "Though I am surrounded by troubles, you will protect me from the anger of my enemies. You reach out your hand, and the power of your right hand saves me." So today we're going to talk about the way that we think and how that affects us. Most of us have gone through something difficult, right? We have been through something that made us feel really down or sad or depressed. When we're in that situation and when we're feeling down, it's really easy to feel discouraged. It's easy to feel sorry for ourselves, and for some of us, myself included, I started thinking about all of the other things that are wrong in my life and how bad everything is. When I'm going through something, I tend to start to feel like my life is a failure. I think about all the things I've done wrong, and I start to remember all of the times that I was let down, the things that I failed at, or how many hard things I've had to overcome. For those of you who know me know that I've lost very important people in my life in the last couple years. My mom, my best friend who was a sister to me, and my aunt. I have dealt with tragic loss. I have been hit with unexpected expenses that caused us to suffer financially. I have had setbacks trying to get a job. I've had a car blow up and need to buy a new one with absolutely no warning whatsoever. I've had some serious health concerns. I have watched family members go through desperate situations and refuse help. My point here is that I have been through some stuff. We all have. I could go on, and that's just the last 5 years of my life, you guys. Life is tough. We are constantly faced with scary, uncertain, and trying times. And when that stuff happens, it's really easy to think about how bad life is. For example, when my car blew up last year, we were already dealing with other stuff. We were struggling to work through things, and then that happened. And naturally, I think to myself, why me? Why now? This isn't fair. Everything else in my life is going wrong. Yes, the car thing was a pain in the butt. And yes, we had to go out and buy a new car that cost way more than the old car did. And yes, we had to make some sacrifices to make that happen. However, was everything else in my life really going wrong, or was I just going through a stressful time? Have you heard the story about the footprints in the sand? If you haven't, it goes something like this. This guy was having a dream. In his dream, he dreamed that he was walking on the beach with the Lord. In the sky, he saw scenes of his life, and during those images, he saw footprints in the sand. His footprints and the Lord's next to him. At the end of the scenes, he's looking back and he sees that, and he points that there are times where there are only one set of prints in the sand. So he says something like, "Hey, what's going on here? Aren't you supposed to be walking next to me? You told me if I followed you, you would always be by my side. So how come when I was going through really difficult stuff, I only see one set of prints in the sand?" Now I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, okay? The Lord replies, "I would never leave you. During those tough times, you only see one set of prints because it was in those times that I carried you." So I have heard this poem my entire life, okay? I'm pretty sure I was able to retell it when I was like 4 years old. Okay, I'm just kidding. But my point is that I always thought it was just a really cheesy poem. But listen to what it's really saying. God is carrying us. He's never leaving us. He is with us when we're going through tough times. He's making a way for bigger and better things to happen in our lives, even if we don't see that yet. So let's go back. Think about the last time you went through something really difficult. How were you feeling? Were you feeling sorry for yourself? Were you wondering why God would let you go through another bad thing when you've already been through so much? When we think things like that, we're forgetting that God is always looking out for us. Always focusing on the negative and not remembering the blessings we have in our lives distracts us from remembering all that God has given us. Now, I'm not saying that I never think those things when I'm down. I'm not saying it's not okay to have sad or negative thoughts. What I am saying is don't wallow in those thoughts. Ask yourself, am I having a bad life or am I having a bad day? When my car blew up, I was having a really bad day. However, God lined things up for me. We had friends step up to help us. My dad was able to help with the tow truck. I was blessed enough to be able to buy a new car the next day. And had I been sitting around focusing on the fact that I had to pay the tow truck driver, I was stranded at work, Hob had to come get me, I had no car, everything was complicated, etc., 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 I wouldn't have seen the blessings that God lined up for me. I am so blessed. I have to constantly remind myself of that. Yes, I have bad days, but I have a roof over my head. I have an amazing, supportive husband that God gave me, a job that I love, a church family that loves me and supports me. When I am focused on how God provides for me and how God defends me against evil, how God protects me daily, and how God is constantly blessing my life, I'm a lot less likely to wallow in my sadness and my self-pity. So today I choose to focus on my blessings and not my bad days, and I hope that you will too.